Welcome to part 6 of Skies of Arcadia. One less commenter here, but it's still going to be a great time.
Did you punch your friend?
Yes, I did. He didn't think I was cool anymore. So, as I mentioned, we have a new friend called Cupel, and he basically becomes Fina's weapon. How do we make Cupel stronger? We feed him things called chams. They're found all throughout the world, and the only way you really find him is that Cupel starts going cute, cute, and your controller starts to rumble. So if you locate them, you can feed it to him, and he becomes stronger, and he's able to change to more weapon types, and just becomes better. So you could make it him from just a weak-ass little cloud puppet thing into like swords and spears and all sorts of stuff.
Do you ever actually need to buy anything for Fina?
You do have to buy things like armor and stuff like that. Just weapon-wise, you're pretty good with Cupel. She can't even equip any weapons anyway.
I like how you hung on that bit of dialogue like it was supposed to be read dramatically. The stronger he will become.
Dun, dun, dun. I just imagine a quick zoom in on his most adorable face. So when you get close enough to it, you'll see Cupel's like, look down! Look down here! And then you just start mashing A until you get it. Then all you do, you don't have to do it every time, but I do it every time. You go into your items, you locate your cham, and you stuff it down its cute, adorable little face. Now, he didn't have enough to transform this time, but the more we feed him, the more his body transforms, and the stronger he gets.
It's like a progressive change.
Pretty much. It keeps at least... I noticed it does follow a pretty close progression to how the weapons upgrade for all the other characters, so it doesn't make her too overpowered or underpowered, so it balances pretty well. Now, since we decided to go on this adventure, we're going to say goodbye to Mom and Dad, because we're flying the coop here. Dad, one day you're going to let me see your chin. Just...
But not today, son.
You haven't earned it. I'm not covering my chin, I'm eating my finger.
I totally understand, son. Drachma's pretty charismatic. No, not him, Dad.
Yeah, I know. He just seems like he's ready for adventure. I'm at 73. I've been on at least 10. So, like, the mom's just going like, I knew you'd leave the nest. Just don't do it now, please, son. I love you. You're like, okay. At this point, you kind of have to question what's Drachma's gain in doing this.
Like that dream where you drove a train into a cat. Go chase that cat, son.
Go chase that train. Ooga chaka choo choo.
I can't stop you leaving.
Deep inside of me.
Crack.
She walks in the ship just bent forward. Oh. Alright, team best friends is going to be on the journey.
He said, I won't let you down. Well, I was hoping he would follow it up with maybe one time, you know. I'm not that reliable, Dad, you know that.
I get one freebie, okay?
I rescued you. You give me some leeway.
I like the blank expression of Drachma back there. Can we fucking get this show on the road, or what?
I thought he was falling backwards.
Just falls back, starts making just ground angels.
On the wood.
Freedom! Freedom! Just starts doing the worm. Freedom! Freedom! And she's like, I'm gonna get rich as possible. I'm like, great. You guys are so unselfish. So to set a course, as I mentioned about 3 or 4 times at least, we're first going to be going after the red moon crystal. I mean, we could go after the yellow one, but that's one in Valua, and let's not rush there anytime soon. We just escaped.
They'd probably welcome you back in, admittingly.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't leave.
Come on in, buddy. We got tea and jails. So remember last time we had those big rocks? Those are known as stone reefs, and before we couldn't pass through them, but now that we have the harpoon cannon, we can just stab right through the stone reefs to get to the other side.
Hey.
So he's just like, come on, guys. This is stupid. Yeah, it is.
Beyblade.
Yeah, I just noticed how much Vice has a monkey face.
Oh, I'm stiff.
Crack. Odd 1 and 2.
That's better. First JRPG dad to survive.
You say that.
Oh, great.
All right. Now that we have Fina on the team, no, she's level 1. She hasn't fought anything at all. She doesn't even know what, like, pirates are. Of course she doesn't fight. But we're going to still shove a moonberry down her throat to have her learn to move. Lunar Blessing is expensive, but it gives your entire team regeneration, which means your characters will heal every turn. So it actually kind of kicks ass. Fina fights completely different than everybody else. She's definitely aimed for magic and support. She can't hit it hard at all or worth a damn. She's not a big damage person unless she's casting spells, but she's not really offensive. She's going to be casting a lot of buffs, and she's going to be removing buffs from characters and healing and reviving, and that's going to be her main purpose. Because the problem with her is that she is like a sheet of paper when it comes to defense.
Well, level 1.
Well, no, she'll always be a sheet of paper when it comes to defense. When she gets into some of the stronger fights and boss characters, if there's a special attack going off, she's usually the first one to die.
How many people can be in one battle at a time?
4 people on your team. And the big thing is that now that we have 4 people, notice how large... notice how large our SP gauge is at the top. Because we have more people, of course, we're going to gain more points. So what's nice about that is that some of the attacks like Alpha Storm and we're only 1 point short of doing Cutlass Fury every turn. So that's ridiculous.
Which I can see breaking a few things.
Yeah, if the game didn't curve to that, but we'll see how that works.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. Nice try, buddy.
It was like a germ. Just poked him.
Ow, tried to infect me, stupid. For Fina, I never stop... At this point in the game, I never stop equipping her with the Silver Moonstone. Mainly because Silver is a combination of very useful effects. One's Curia, so it can cure all status ailments. Another one's going to be Revival spells, so if a character completely dies, I can bring him back to life. And it's also the spell of Death. So there's spells like Eterni, Eternum, and things like that, which are instant kill spells. Not so good for me, but for enemies, oh god. But now that we're back here, let's deliver some moonfish. We've been courting them at this point, so let's go meet our friend Doc here, the ship Doc.
I'm the ship Doc.
Hey, you can hear it all the way from, I'm ship Doc.
I'm ship Doc.
Now, there's only one sucky thing about feeding this thing moonfish, is that the game thought, hey, you could feed the bird all at once, but no, you have to feed this bird one fish at a time. So we feed him, he starts vibrating a little bit, and he starts to inflate. And this is what they say every time we feed him. And he starts turning into popcorn, and then he vomits. So he coughs up a hairball, and Doc is like, hey, here's the deal. Why don't you keep the thing that's in the hairball?
I keep the hairball.
He coughed up a crystal. So because this is the same, I start doing a little bit of fast forwarding. As he starts vomiting some more.
That hit the camera.
Yep. Now if you do it enough, we get this little cinema. Hello, Mutie. Be happy.
It's not my bird.
Skank you! What a jerk! Doc is losing his shit right now.
What did you say?
How rude, saying thank you. So yeah, Maria's completely mute. That's the first time she's talked in years. Because you fed her stupid fat-ass bird that coughs up hairballs. Back it up there, honey. I'm still single. Wink. And she's just like, eh. See, as I mentioned, this being one of the main side quests, getting this stuff done actually gives you a little bit of backstory to certain characters. For Doc, he actually used to be a Valuan soldier, in this case a Valuan doctor. And there was a admiral named Mendoza! he was a nice and kind admiral who apparently died and left his daughter behind. What a jerk.
Look, if you're nice in Valoa, you don't stay in Valoa.
What? Charity? See, ever since then, she's completely lost her emotions and ability to speak, but she just sat there and watched like her entire family ship just crash under the clouds and disappear. The Doc became her guardian and was just like, hey, I gotta figure a way to fix her, but can't, despite all of his doctoring.
If only psychology was a thing.
If only ships could float. If only science would work like science. Oh, and she stopped talking. Now she's ringing bells to get attention, despite being like 3 feet away. So she rings a bell to get attention, and he's just like, not yet. I need to talk to him. You keep me bored, those moonfish! Also gives a little bit of height perspective. Vice is kind of short.
Well, she did just smile. We saw it happen.
I don't believe you.
Look, I've gotten used to her being quiet. And sad. Don't ruin this for me.
I prefer kids being silent. God, I'm not the only one.
Hey, children.
He did give me actually a really good item. The Warrior's Rune. I'm just like, Moroku Shell sucks. But look, that increases my attack, my hit percentage, dodge percentage. It's really good, so throw it on. The nice thing is that that stupid-ass bird vomits up some actually pretty good stuff. So you'll want to repeatedly come back and look for moonfish, despite sometimes them being a pain in the ass to get.
I like how the doc said, out of the kindness of my heart, take whatever is in that hairball without checking to see what was in the hairball.
Or if there was anything in the hairball except for a hairball. You keep whatever's in the hairball. Ew, just hair. Well, it's all yours.
Look, you want to know why Valoa is so fucked up and the disparity between poor and rich? They don't really know what charity is.
They just vomit on them. It's like, keep whatever's in there. Oh, hello there. So, meet Domingo. He's a cocky little guy that's just like, hey, discoveries. Yeah, you're not going to be able to find them because I'll find them all. And he's also like, have you ever heard of me?
No.
I had to be mad. Let's go ahead.
Well, you hear about me in about a week.
Yes, he is full of himself. Anyway, he kind of told us something called Topple Rock, which is a discovery that's in the area. We find it before him, great, it just means more money. I'm going back here because we need to cash in on that bounty hunt from Baltor because we didn't get a chance to do it.
Topple Rock.
Topple the Rock. Uses only a shield. So I'm just like, yeah, what do you get for defeating this legendary pirate? 1,000 gold? Come on. Whatever. So let's see if there's any other new bounties. Oh, there's a new one called Rupee of the Larso clan, worth 2,000 gold. But that's in Nasser, so we're heading that way anyway, so just get a view. This guy seems pretty big looking.
Possibly a genie.
Possibly. I do alchemy. Let me see if your name is in this book here, just in a second. But here, oh, you gave me a black spot.
Have an ink stain.
The black spot is used as a death threat from this person called the Angel of Death. And we have it now, so the Angel of Death is on our tail. Oh, I read a book, now I'm done. But the black spot is going to be another side mission / optional boss throughout the entire game. But we're going to worry about that after our main mission here. This ship's basically telling us, hey, since you have that little cool looking spear, you can charge through those rocks and it won't matter. So let's do that. Not the big ones. Avoid the big ones, that doesn't help. Crash.
I've been meaning to ask, getting through the stone reefs, does that open up shortcuts, or is it to get to new places?
In the sakes of at least the stone reefs, it's to get to new areas. There's going to be some points where you get different engines and different kind of upgrades that will create shortcuts, yes. Because you notice, like, there was those areas before there were, like, those air currents we couldn't go through. We'll eventually be able to actually go through them. All right, we're starting to enter Nasher Airspace. Huge, huge continent, just a huge desert. The kids are so excited. And once again, the expression does not change in Drachma's face.
It looks like he's trying to figure out what he does on his own ship.
So the funny thing is, Aika always goes like, yeah, I've heard of that place, and always has these imaginative stories like this. So apparently it gets so hot, your hair just bursts into flames.
I hope this is a recurring thing.
To every new area, yes. One of the reasons I like Aika, because she's ridiculous. Ah!
Her hairstyle is not that complex.
See, he even points out the glass eye patch is stupid. You're gonna burn your brain out, stupid. You guys are stupid. I know that. I know nothing.
Look, I don't know what jokes are. Can you just be straight with me?
This also explains how particular mana works in this world. So red mana obviously made the world hotter, hence desert. Different mana types will affect how the world around them works. But now we're looking for a temple called Chiron, or Chiron. Join me in song. But she just wants to go shopping and stuff. Well, she's like, what's the first thing you're gonna buy? What the hell is buying?
You're a filthy capitalist.
Oh,
I didn't say I want. No, no.
no!
Bah.
Well, I didn't hear that. What was that? What was that? Bitch! Here comes the best line in the whole thing. At least in this whole scene. He's just been standing there going like, I don't belong here.
I sympathize with Drachma. That's how I feel in all social situations.
That's why people like Drachma. I did fly around a bit to do some level grinding, but first there's a couple of very obvious discoveries to pick up. One of them is that little floating island right there. First we can get a little fight with some of the desert denizens. And now you'll get also a better idea of, whoa, there's a lot of guys.
Oh.
How kind of useless in, at least in physical combat, Fina is. Doesn't mean she's bad, but she definitely is not going to be the hitter of your team. Aika's a better hitter than Fina is.
Wow.
You didn't know he could fire things out of his arm? So obviously the big weakness points of red is going to be blue. Supposed to be wind. The one that's unexpected is purple, which is ice. Ice is good against fire, apparently. See, that did like nothing. And I got shot. Luckily, when there's a lot of enemies spawning, usually the enemies aren't too tough. Plus, I always have Aika when I really just get annoyed with fighting them. Ah, the little weak enemy killer. I love it. Murder, 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 murder.
That was easy.
Takes out the cameraman.
I was about to say it could cut the lens in half. She levels up quickly, as you can tell.
All right, new lens for my eyeglass.
And a moonberry.
Jesus Christ.
I need them right now. She doesn't have any attacks. So, first we're going to make the first discovery by mashing A when we get near it. Wandering Lake. It's just a lake that floats.
Soup Bowl Island.
And also notice that ship over there? That's a pirate ship. Let's fight it. So we can have ship battles. These guys aren't ever tough at all. They're basic enemy, so you can just gain some experience from. So we're gonna fight one, but since it's not an important fight, once again we're gonna use warp speed to fight them. Because fighting these weak enemies just becomes tedious. There's less strategy and just like, okay, wait, turn, blow cannon, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and he just shot a torpedo. You'll see more about torpedoes later. We have, or I can just explain it now. We have basic cannons, which are great, but there's this nice ability of things called secondary cannons and torpedoes, where you can plan and have them hit on certain turns. You can fire them on, say, turn 2 and have them land on turn 4. So that way, it doesn't take up a turn for the cannon to hit, but then you can also fire a cannon at the same time and hit him with 2 attacks at the same time. So it does a ton more damage. Secondary cannons kind of work in the same way, but you can have them fire in repeated rows. You can, if you start on turn 2, you can also have a fire turn on 3 and 4. And it doesn't do nearly as much damage as a main cannon, but when you add it with, say, firing another cannon or a torpedo at the same time, you can really start accumulating the damage pretty quick. Of course, your enemies know that too, so they can hurt you quickly as well. The one regret I have at this point is that I forget to buy a secondary cannon in port when I had the chance, which I'll regret a little bit later, but it's not a big deal. And he's dead.
So much for the torpedo.
Meaningless shit. I just felt like I needed to do a little bit of level grinding, which I cut out for the most part. I at least wanted to show a couple different things here. There's the temple over there. We're not going to go over there yet, because oh, there's a discovery, but we can't get to it yet. It's too high. But there's a discovery on top of this rock here. I'm going to mash A. It's a sand waterfall, or a sandfall. There's a couple of other discoveries here, but those are probably the easiest ones to find at the moment. Right now we're flying back to the city of Maramba, which is a port city here in the nation of Nasser. Oh, and I love the music in this area too. Of course, I've been saying that about all the music.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Beginning our adventure. Really hot out here, I give up. Just lays out in it.
Can't see out of my other eye. He fell. He's gone. You didn't see that?
Don't you realize? Game over, man. Game over. So Captain abandons us again. You asshole. He didn't have time for this shit. He's just like, whoa, see ya. He's got to get Rockham. Or Rockingham.
Rocknum, Socknum, whale.
Bobby once.
Bobby forever.
He's just like, what are we supposed to do now? We don't have a ship. He's just like, what? I can't hear you, stupid.
La 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 la. I can't hear you, I think.
Fire the middle finger cannon. And he just disappears into nothingness. And they're just like, well, that's a thing. So great. And now that we're in this city, now we also have to find a ship to go save the day.
For once, Aika's the only one who's dressed appropriately.
Oh no, I'd say Fina's dressed appropriately. See, he left the party again. Shit. Running gag. All right. So now we're going to explore the city of Maramba, see everything that it has to offer.
There's the cake ship!
There's something nice that's next to that cake ship. One thing is right across from there's a shipwright and also one of the guild masters that you can sell bounties to and stuff. But, oh, there's a moonfish over here. Next to the cake ship.
It's a cake fish.
So the only problem with that ship leaving is we can't leave this area until we complete this section. So if you need to do some stuff before you go after the red crystal, do so before you land at Maramba. Because once you land here, you're going to be sucked into the main story at this point. Just as a fair warning. There's a shipwright if we need to buy weapons for the ship, which if we had one. Now with this character, there's a couple of things we do want to pick up that's going to make the following parts easy. Buy a couple of these Cristale boxes, or Cristales. Heavy-hitting purple spell. As I told you, main weakness of these red guys is purple. So, pick some of those up.
Was that one of the attacks that the spell guys during the Colosseum boss fight used?
That at least we're trying to use, except for I was using Delta Shield the whole time.
Right.
But yes, that was what they're trying to use, so... get some extra gold to sell this stuff, because there's going to be some equipment we want to buy as well. There's a lot of crap to gather here in Maramba, and a lot of it's pretty easy to miss, so I'm going to do a pretty thorough job of showing where everything is located in this particular city.
Now, see, I have the book, but I don't bother reading it.
It's too hot to read. There's a baby cake ship. I like the ship designs in this. I just wanted to show kind of this Egyptian look to it. They're completely different than the ships of all the other areas.
If anything, Arabic.
Well, Arabic, I remember someone making a comparison in Something Awful where it was just like the Solomon Empire and things like that, or the Persians. This also kind of an Egyptian feel as well. There's one of their steeds. Hello.
Egyptian T-Rex.
Yeah, Egyptian T-Rexes with camel faces. So we're going to pop by some of these merchant shops here. As I mentioned, what's cool about this game, each of the merchants look different. So the merchants here look different than the ones that are in the other cities. This guy's a weapon merchant. There's a couple things we want to pick up from here. Mainly armor, but there's a new weapon for Vice here.
He's prettier than the item merchant.
Indeed he is. So there's a couple different equipment types. Ceramic armor you do want to purchase, but that's going to be for later. I'm still going to pick it up and equip it on Vice, but I'm going to unequip it here in like 10 seconds. We're going to throw in a robe on Fina to make her defense a little bit better. This is why we need plenty of gold. There's plenty of shopping we got to do. And we're going to buy some Nasrian mail for Ica. We don't need any of those extra stuff. I mean, some of those accessories are pointless. Also, good point to get rid of your Assassin Blade. Don't sell the Mace Hand.
No.
You can tell how good it is.
You remember how good it is.
Exactly. If you notice, after he left, I guess he threw all of his equipment down on to the ground and drove away, because he just threw his like armor down and everything. So don't sell some of his stuff. You might need it. Go figure, he probably didn't leave us forever. I know that's a spoiler, but...
May the red moon set you on fire.
Hairs all done. Oh god, bless it. Now, there's a couple things we want to go to. That's the inn. We go back here anyway in a story application, but we want to go in here early.
What do I do with my life?
If you hear Cupils going nuts. Now you think it's down here. The thing is that Cupil Sense doesn't measure levels, so this one's actually on the second floor, not the first, but it's hard to tell based on how Cupil's freaking out. Alright, there you go, Cupil. Let's see if we can change his form this time.
Eat, Cupil, eat.
He became a Cupil Blade, which means when you do an attack with Fina, Cupil becomes a sword. The idea of a weapon that could change shape is actually kind of cool.
He becomes a blade of grass.
Just one of those old camel things that eats it. Gooey and alive. Also above our heads is a moonfish. Kind of a pain in the ass to get to. You can hear it right now. We'll be getting that here in a minute. Despite it driving me nuts, I'm like, where are you? Where are you? As you mentioned, like you asked whether you can see them before you completely approach them. You can. They're just harder to spot.
And I can imagine in a place like this, really the hard part is finding where you're supposed to be standing before you can actually notice them.
Exactly. This person, we're going to come back and talk to him, to her later, because she's involved with a little side mission later in the game. She's carving up meat and spices and stuff like that, and we'll be dealing with her a little bit later.
Yes, you smell like a shithead.
So does your food, bitch. You just love saying that, don't you, Vice? This is the merchant. You know, he gets better. What? Would you like to buy some? So from here, one of the best things to buy at this point is the Glyph of Might. It's Akram in a bottle. So that's why I'm buying so many. No longer do I have to wait for the moon points. I just go to my item, use it, and bam, I have it. So I'm done buying from him. Bam. Oh. Brain damage. Woo. I told you, I love the character designs in this game. And you notice he just had like a sadder like wave, like he's knocked out. I love the characters in this game. As I mentioned in other games we've done, this game definitely encourages you to use items a lot more, and you'll definitely see it in the effects in this part. It does make some parts considerably easier, but later in games, it makes things possible. So, nice thing about these little camel dudes. Calm down, man. Stop twitching your lip. You can actually, to get to the other side of the desert, which is another side of the village, we have to ride a dabu. But we can ride them around here too, so first off, I'm gonna jump on one, and before we cross the desert, I'm gonna jump on some of these rooftops, which you'll notice you can jump on them because there's these little poles there to line you up. We're gonna see what this old guy's up to.
Gonna dive into the sand. Gonna dive into the sand.
I'm psyching myself up. 1, 2, it's too early. It's too hot. So you can listen to his little story where he's just like, he basically tells the story of that wall of cannons. And they're like, we didn't do too good of a job, but I'm still working out for the day we can do it. The Nasher Empire is very much the largest rival to Valua. Oh, and you could also see the moonfish in the background over there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now we want to go into this building because downstairs there's a pretty useful item. And it's also why I mentioned that I unequipped that one armor in like 5 seconds. Because there's better armor in that chest right there.
No.
Asher Combat Mail. We'll be throwing that on Vice instead. The ceramic armor will be a little more useful for a different character that I won't say yet. Alright. Now, to be a surprise, there's a lot more items around here, so don't fret yet. This place is a treasure trove, and it's to me, it's telling me, okay, we're prepping you for the first big temple of this game.
Why aren't you all rioting? Come on, I want to see a riot.
Let's get a party going. Riot hard. Oh, it's making the good noise. It's making the good noise. Where are you, son of a bitch? Aha! Moonfish.
Munch.
Catches, that's his mouth catching it. Slipara box, that is casting a sleep-based spell. I never really used that. Sounds like something I can sell. I'm stuck on a tree. Visible wall! Visible well!
I technically have blind.
He doesn't really have eyes, that's the problem. See if there's anything up here, stop it. Ooh, ooh. Nothing up here. Great. Thanks for... He's laughing at me, I saw that. Well, there's nothing really we can get else over here, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over to this gate here and cross this little section of desert. You could walk, but they say, no, you can't. You need this to cross this, like, 20 feet. The desert's a scary place, man. There's a couple of items over here that we want to pick up as well while we have the Dabu. Because it's not fun walking around on the Dabu if that wasn't obvious. It's slow. So you just want to get this shit done out of the way, so another chest.
There's nothing as scary as wind that's in time with the music.
I think they designed it that way a little bit.
Crack.
Now it's a slithering Dabu. Alright, so we're done with the Dabu, at least up to this point. We still need to get him to the other side of the thing, but there's definitely a couple things we're going to get around here. One of them, we're going to go in this little building here, because there's a fortune teller. Now, we can always visit this fortune teller at any point, and guess what she does? She tells your fortune. She also does something else for you later, but I won't spoil that because it'll come down to how some of the mechanics work later in the game.
I'm the seer of the red moon. Goes to a window, points.
That's why she wears such thick glasses so she can actually see them. There it is! Points to the black sky. I wish it was there. Alright, basically it tells us what we're gonna do, so it's like, great! See you, buddy. I'm processing the information I got. Alright. So this is the main place we need to go into. Nice little tea spot here.
Yeah.
I love the character designs. I got shit on my bit. This guy seems very happy. Ooh, lady. Oh, his creepy hand motions are what makes it disturbing. This guy's a creeper too. Got that Armstrong curl too. What a weirdo. He's known as Rowdy Sailor. He's just like, yeah, I can look at you, kid, but look at that girl on stage, yeah. I decided to walk him and interrupt the show. Hi, do you know anything? Can I steal your ship? So she suggests we just kind of sit and relax and hang out, so that's what we're gonna do. Because we got nothing else to do anymore.
I mean, we can wander around the desert on that thing with no eyes.
Wonder if we'll know where we're going. Can we eat this plate of green beans on the floor? So we're powwowing about what we're gonna do next. What a jerk, right?
That dance was like a subliminal message.
No, it's more of a distraction method, as you can see. She no fan of that. See, this is where you could use some of your swashbuckling thing. So you're talking about the desert. See, you could lie or you can admit to your mistake. It's a little cooler to be able to like, okay, I'm sorry. Or you can just be like, I know what you're talking about. I just blankly stare in directions. Stop being so jealous, Laika.
I like the idea that he's learned to zoom in on his eyeglass with just his eye.
He just winks and it does it. He's just like, Fina, could you just tell him to stop being a jerk? And she puts salt in the wound. Yep. Oh god. So, I'm filthy. Hi.
Oh yeah, nobody's talking about that.
I know. the thing that no one's done ever. How did you figure that out? Alright, now we got a ship. Sorta. Hey, thanks for the ship. Can you just go back there and dance so I can stare?
Zoom?
Yeah, zoom. I think I'm gonna do that. Back to the one move she knows. This is what got me the job.
The part I enjoy most is I'm asexual. Ha 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 ha.
The irony is thick. Before we go back, there's this nice little maze down here below the city that has a couple nice items we want to pick up. This area confused the shit out of me when I was a kid, but I get through this area pretty quick. What helps a lot is you eventually get a nice little map that helps.
It does sound like his feet are getting stuck to the ground.
Damn it, honey, again. Just walks up the wall. I'll get it.
Not surprised this isn't helping me.
I'm Spider-Man, hi.
I'm also lost. Hi.
This is on the building on the other side of town, which contains a moonberry. Great.
Well, at least it's in a chest this time.
Well, I've always treated it kind of like it's heart pieces. It seems like there's a lot of them, but it's only because I know where they are. Now they got 2 moonberries, we can start teaching Fina more moves. But there's one other thing I want to pick up in here, which doesn't spoil anything.
Well, like I would know.
But you'll see what I mean here in a sec. This area is covered by these gates. If you notice, they're all blocked off to certain areas. But also there's these things next to them that are buttons. When we press them, it shuts certain gates and closes others, and allows us to travel through different parts of this temple, so... I'm gonna press that and move it around.
Uh-huh.
And it gets us into a different area. There's one item I particularly want. I believe it's over here. Yeah, it's right there.
Does the map change to fit which gates are closed and open?
Yes. Picked up the excavator arm, which is a weapon for a certain bastard who left us here. I wonder if he'll come back.
Like, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the joke is he leaves and comes back, isn't going to be coming back.
That would be kind of funny, though. He actually left this time. Oh, shit. This is the only problem with this thing, is you'll end up getting yourself trapped a lot. God damn it. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn advice.
The only sad part about this is it goes into the entire of the Maramba area, but we have to pop out of the one side we entered at to be able to do it, so that means we have to jump back on the Dharma to cross the desert again to leave! That's not tedious at all. Ah, shit. This is the problem with this little maze. Spin in a circle like, no! And of course you can release buttons as well, so... It's just hard to remember what you released and what you pushed down. Oh shit, we just came back to the way we came.
So one button doesn't change every gate in the area?
It's usually within its own vicinity, so if you notice, the ones that are within the eye line side of the button shift and change positions. But they don't just open up, they block a different path.
Right.
So, like, it can obstruct you either way. But we managed to get out. There's a couple of other things down there, but they're very minor. But I cut out the part where we traveled back. I had to experience the tedium, but you didn't have to. But first thing we want to do for storyline reasons, we're going to rest at this end so that we can get to full health. I would have done it anyway, but Blana saved us a room here. And she's popular amongst the town because she's been making a bunch of money from Maramba and tourism. We traveled far along to find hot women. Then we find Grump on his ship.
The little grump.
One is the loneliest number that you ever do.
One is the only number that I know.
5 is as high as I can count because I only have one arm. So he's starting to regret it, like, I should probably go back. Wait, what? Oh, look, there's something over there. Who's that?
Who's that Murdermon?
It's Pink Ship. Pink. I'm gonna paint my ship that color. The little pink.
The little dick.
No one will see it coming.
Well, in that case, the better name would be the Glasscock.
Yep. I think it works either way, to be honest. I haven't slept all night. How about you? So the sad thing is, and I luckily kind of resolved it, is that my slot A memory card lost its shit. So I'm gonna have to reformat it, which is gonna erase everything. Luckily, I saved all the file on my slot B memory card, so we're still good.
Want me to censor that saved file for you?
Do what?
Want me to censor that saved file for you in the video?
If you want. So, remember we mentioned the cake shiplet? We're actually made traveling on the cake ship. I think it's this one over here. It's like, oh yeah, big fancy ship. Yeah, cake ship. Oh, she's not here. Shoot. Oh, the little one.
Oh.
Well, yeah, that's right. Cram 4 people on this baby ship.
Hey, handsome.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Fina's like, excuse me, she's talking to me. Only those who walk through the desert can truly know its size. Well, I can see it from the air. It's ridiculous.
Did you sleep well? Uh-huh.
I'm goofy, by the way.
Well, here's a girl.
Well, gosh.
I'm surrounded by girls. This is the first time I ever saw one.
Well.
Shit. It just seems, well, I can still kind of question, like, why are you letting us ride on your ship? That seems kind of ridiculous. I love this in all forms of media. When someone turns their back to you to tell you a story is the dumbest thing ever. Try it in a conversation. If someone asks, oh, so what have you been doing today? Stand up, turn around, put your back into them, go, I had breakfast this morning. And then start going off. But she's talking about the fact that Valua and Nasser went into war 20 years ago, and a lot of people died, including her father. And she was completely broke and was starving on the streets. Thanks to war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I say it again now.
Good God, y'all.
And now, I think Ike is feeling like a little bit of a jerk. And it looks like Vice fell asleep.
Oh, tragedy makes me sleepy.
But then he wakes up, we'll do it! We'll do what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
He was just dreaming about hopping into a bath with Belena.
It's not like you're surrounded by any other attractive women, Vice. Jesus Christ.
Both of them your age.
Yes. He likes older women, you can't really judge him.
Hmm.
Each their own, I guess.
Well, I mean, look at her body.
Yeah, exactly.
She's clearly only 2 years older than him.
Yeah, by older, I'm doing with heavy quotation marks.
Older in Japan years.
And Japanese anime-isms. That's the only thing about anime that always blows my mind, where it's just like, oh, look at this older woman. Her boobs just inexplicably become bigger and more attractive. I don't know. I guess that's how puberty works. So now we're gonna fly out on this cool-ass ship, the cake ship. And I know where the temple is. It was obvious. We saw it a little bit earlier.
It's the cupcake ship.
The cupcake ship.
It does look a little like a cupcake.
Well, it's piloted by Cheesecake.
Alright, we discovered the Temple of Chiron. Despite us knowing about it, it's still a discovery, so. Plus it also being like only like a mile away. Alright, first major temple of the game.
Tiled texture, tiled texture, tiled texture.
Wow, it's so big.
Butts.
Butts. Oh my god, a quarter! Yeah, it still kind of blows the mind that real pyramids were ever built by humans without cranes. What are you gonna do, Belena? Do you know how to fight? I can dance. Damn it, I can dance.
Hey!
Yeah, that was dumb of you to say, Vice.
Yeah, but you're not beautiful.
It's just like, yeah, we'll just leave him. We'll get done without him, because he sucks. Fuck you.
I have no self-esteem, so I'm not bothered by that.
He's not funny, he's stupid. That's quite different. Aw, Belena's in love, but the guy doesn't love her back. Everyone knows how that is.
Well, not me.
Well, most people know how that is.
Not people inexplicably lucky as hell like me.
This is a huge temple, by the way, compared to everything else we've seen. It also gets us a nice little presentation of design. Looks pretty cool. There's also this little pedestal here. Wonder if that'll become relevant later. Probably not. Anyway. Time to get exhausted climbing these stairs. That exhausts me just looking at it, and that's computer animated. So I thought possibly there's something hiding up here. I would think, there's probably like a cham or something. You over here? No.
I get kind of an Invader Zim vibe from this.
Yeah, the heads, I could definitely see that. Yeah, no lucky fish, no lucky, unlucky. That pirate perps from
I found a new job after the old ship crashed.
Pirate joins her crew. Alright, now to enter Pyron and go after the Red Moon Crystal. First major mission, go! In the next video.
Alright.
The next video, things get nuts. That's the only thing I'll say about it. Things get nuts.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's a good one. I like it.
And on the subject of Blenna, this gorgeous woman who's still totally single and not so lucky in love, that's not such an uncommon thing. Typically people who would be particularly intimidating other people, no matter how attractive or popular they are, doesn't mean someone's going to have the nerve to actually go up and talk to them and actually engage with them. So
it's true, and also it can come off as her flirtatious nature pretty much says, I only let people in so deep before I can't imagine that she might do anything in a relationship beyond a fling, but she does have feelings for someone, but that one person's just not reciprocating. That happens. It happens. I mean, she loves somebody, so she's not going to get attached to anyone else, so of course she's single. It's still tragic because, that person's never going to feel anything for her, not likely. So it's sad to watch someone sit there and kind of take that.
Also, yeah, she's basically a Gyarados.
Pretty much. I mean, you're right. A lot of it can come down to attractive women do have a habit of people just assuming, hey, you're attractive, everyone flirts with you. But half the time, probably 90% of the guys go, wow, you're too hot for me. Which is probably true, but it also prevents them from finding people sometimes. If you're hot, we feel you.
Not literally, that's illegal.
Here comes the little pink. Poor Drachma. He does that and probably is not aware of the double entendre of his statement. He's just sitting there telling it to everyone and everyone's laughing, which is only pissing him off. What's so funny?
They didn't have double entendres back in his generation.
I like the idea that people are going, should we explain it to him? No, this is funnier when we don't.
You want this to still be funny tomorrow, right? Don't explain it.
Don't crush his soul, come on. This little pink will crash through that stone reef. What? Nothing.